Hey guys, what's up? Zombie here. Welcome back to Evilzombies Lair. This is episode 12, and we have several things we're going to go over today. First, we're going to talk about some personal stuff, then we're going to move into the multimedia stuff with some movies and TV and game news. Then we're moving into the anime recommendation of the week, and then we're going to talk about some tech news. And then finally, we'll go into our main topic, which today happens to be why all of the game sites out there are just complete rubbish. They're worthless. So I want to talk to you guys about that because it's been bugging me for a while and I've noticed it just becoming a trend. So, let's move on, guys. Okay. So, I hope you enjoy the harmonica thing. I just figured it's nice because a lot of people do a little intro video with these, but no, I actually like having something real for you guys, not a soundboard. So, I just have my harmonica. But yeah, guys, first thing of just personal news I thought was pretty cool. Remember how I was doing the Surviving Depression podcast just for people who wanted help with that? Well, I'm 3 episodes in with it, and now each episode has two views on it. And one of them got a like, so someone, at least one person, maybe 2 people, are at least seeking help and trying to improve their lives so they don't do dumb things. So they at least make it past harsh times. So, good for them. I'm very happy that someone's actually able to find use of something I made to feel better, you know? That is like a great feeling, and I'm really hoping that more people can find this podcast series useful. Because the entire purpose of the Surviving Depression podcast that I'm doing is just to help people survive depression. That's literally what it is. So I was really happy about that. I'm really hoping that it would make a difference and that they'll keep tuning in and keep tuning in for the next 2 episodes, which is going to be how long it is. It's only going to be 5. So it's pretty short. Okay, guys. So the next part of news, well, it's not really news. It's just kind of letting you guys know. But if you haven't been able to listen to the old episodes of this podcast, it's because I use the free version of SoundCloud, and yeah, that has a limit of how much space or how much time you can upload to it. So what I've done instead is I'm including a link in the description for every podcast, a Google Drive folder with all of the MP3s. You can just download all of it, like everything back to episode 1 of this podcast. And if you don't want to download it, if you want to watch it, the YouTube will always have all of it. Because YouTube is amazing, Google's amazing, and they let you have free storage. Right now, I just don't make that much money because I'm on minimum wage and I have 2 kids. So, there's no extra expense. There's no extra expenses coming in or going out. Nothing extra. But at least I have the Google Drive with everything. You can download the MP3s if you want to listen to older episodes. So, that's out there for you. It's in the description below. Okay, now, first thing of actual, multimedia news that actually has to do with movies and stuff. Basically, I guess it's not really news. It's just an update, personal stuff. I've been watching a lot of Evil Dead and Guyver movies recently. I've been catching up on Guyver. If you haven't seen Guyver, it started as a manga series and an anime series in Japan, and then it got adapted to a movie here in America. But it stars Mark Hamill. That's right, Luke Skywalker, and the voice of the Joker is a superhero that goes around killing things. It's awesome, and it's very bloody and wonderful. It's called The Guyver, and it's just fantastic. I'm telling you, it's cheesy, it's fun, it's from the 90s. What's there to lose? I mean, you might enjoy yourself. Go watch that movie. I've been watching it. Okay, and it has a sequel also. It's not the same actor, of course, and it's different budget, different type of movie. But it's still pretty good. It's still based on the same manga. So they kept up with that. Okay, guys, now the real topics. Here's multimedia news. Ash vs. Evil Dead is now on Netflix. Both seasons 1 and 2. I was like, yes! Because I have season 1 on the Blu-ray in there, and I have all the movies on Blu-ray. But I didn't have season 2, so there's not a way I could watch that other than trying to download it or things like that because it hasn't been on TV in a while. That ended a while ago. And I'm just waiting for season 3 to start up now too, because that's starting up on February 25, I think. To the best of my knowledge, I'll have to look up that later. But still, Ash vs. Evil Dead, in all its gory wonderment, and just pure bloody bliss, is now on Netflix. You can go watch that if you're a fan of the old movies. So, because basically chronologically, think of the original 3 movies, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Army of Darkness, as one continuous trilogy telling what happened to Ash in his own words. That's the best way to look at it, because it gets cheesier, it gets more action-packed, and him being the hero. It starts out realistic, exactly what happened, if you're looking at it in this theory. And then it starts out with what actually happened. In Evil Dead 1, it's dark, gritty, that's what happened. And then it continues on with the sequel in Evil Dead 2, where it's getting a little more zany, things are a little more exaggerated, because that's how Ash rolls. I mean, that's how he tells stories. It just stretches a little bit. And then by the time it gets to 3, yeah, it's hardly the same thing at all, and then he is the savior of the entire world. By that time, and it's so far outlandish and stretched, you just know that's how he's telling the story, because it's him. And by the end of it, he's just spouting out one-liners, he's riding across on a cart and shooting deadites. It's awesome. You'll love it. But yeah, and there's multiple endings for the 3rd one as well. But this series, the Ash vs. Evil Dead series, is a direct sequel to the original 3 movies. It forgets about the remake movie entirely, and it doesn't account for Within the Woods. It's just that trilogy. But it's what happens like 20 years later, 30 years later, and it's continuing it directly. I mean, characters from the original one are still in this. It's the same director, Sam Raimi, and it has Bruce Campbell as Ash, and it has several other characters and things from the originals. They couldn't go to the original cabin because that burnt down on its private property, and people would get shot because the owner of that is actually pretty much a jerk. No, I understand, because there's a lot of fans, and they all want to go bug him on his property because it's the original. But yeah, okay, guys, moving on. Anime recommendation of the week: Guyver. I talked about the movie. That's what I'm into right now. I'm hyped up about it. I'm excited about it. It's like a bloody version of Power Rangers, but like one-man army. It's wonderful. It's about this alien suit that latches onto this guy. It's a bio armor that boosts everything. He has blades on his arms. He has a laser cannon in his chest, a laser in his forehead, and he just murders all the monsters in terrible ways. It's wonderful. I think you might enjoy it. The old series, I think it was like 12 episodes long. Then they did a 26 episode long remake series. The original series was bloody. The comic was bloody. And then the remake of the anime series that they did a few years ago, that one's not bloody at all, but it has very smooth action and perfect animation. I mean, it's great. It was good enough to get an entire remake that was very high budget. And I think the remake goes a lot farther in the story than the original one did compared to the comic. But yeah, guys, and if you want to see any more, and that's spelled Guyver, Guyver. But if you want to see any of the anime I've seen, if you're curious about which ones I've watched, then go to myanimelist.net/profile/Evilzombie123. Okay, guys, moving on to tech news. My mind has been blown recently when I saw that they do, for laptops, when you can do gaming on laptops. Of course, you can do some gaming on laptops, but you're always limited because of the processor, right? Or no, not processor, the GPU. I'm crazy, I'm an idiot. The GPU, the graphics card. So basically, you can't get the same power into the smaller space. So what some companies have started doing is making external GPU enclosures where you can plug in a full-sized graphics card into this external enclosure, plug that into your laptop, and it's as powerful as a desktop now. Because it is not limited anymore, it has the same processor, now it has the same video card. The only thing that would be limiting you is how much RAM you have, but because it's slightly smaller form factor, but it's still pretty dang fast. But guys, I'm telling you, this is awesome. I mean, Power Color's coming out with the next one, but there's already some out. I think Asus has one out. They're priced at around like $250 or so for the actual unit, and then you put a GPU in on top of that, and it's just a good idea. I mean, this is something we've wanted for so many years. If I could have that like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have bought a desktop, because I buy a desktop for gaming and for storage, and just because it looks badass. But other than that, that would be so cool to be able to have something like that. You can do full on, well, I guess you could actually handle 4K gaming then. You can handle VR, things like that, and you don't have to worry about your laptop choking. You could have a mid-range laptop that doesn't have a dedicated GPU, save the money a little bit. You know, instead of spending $1,000 extra for a better laptop that can handle gaming, get a GTX 1060 Ti or 1060, and then pop that into this enclosure, then you're good to go. You just saved yourself several $100s, and that's fantastic, I think. I mean, that's just awesome. That was just some exciting tech news for me. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, or at least learned something from it. So, yeah, moving on to the next part. Main topic, guys. This is going to be a shorter episode than normal, much shorter. I do apologize for that. There's just not as much news right now. You already know today's main topic, but there's not as much news going on right now other than net neutrality, and I'm trying to avoid talking about that because I don't talk about politics on this podcast. It's a choice I've made, and I'm sticking to it because I really don't care that much about politics. I do care about that, but I'm not talking about it. Okay, so moving on. That's where all the news is on every single site. But yeah, I've noticed gaming websites, all of them, not just IGN, not just GameStop, not just PC Gamer, anything that has to do with gaming news, it's all crap now. It's all rubbish. All those websites are just going downhill. I've noticed this in the past like 2 years, and I've been following a lot of these sites for a long time. I mean, I've been watching like all these sites very closely since Doom 3 was announced. So yeah, that's that was like 2003, 2002, 2003, something like that. But yeah, I used to check out all the benchmarks. Can your computer run this web part? Like articles, all the reviews that came out were more legitimate. They're not sponsored as heavily. You didn't have like this entire layer of 6 sponsored caked across the top of the page when you went to look at for gaming news. The first 3 or 4 articles weren't just sponsored. Okay, here's the real news. No, it's just become such a sellout. I mean, it sucks. They're just so worthless now. They've become such sellouts, and they don't post any relevant material. It turned from people who love games talking about games and giving you news on games into corporate entity wants to make some money and then have game-related content posted daily. That's what it turned into. I mean, all that corporate BS happened, and I hate corporate BS. I'm trying to find a better source for gaming news, but I'm basically just turning to watching all the gaming videos online. Like, I'll watch Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. PewDiePie is a good source of news, surprisingly. He's a very good source of news. Because he talks about the relevant issues that no one else is talking about. That's why he's awesome. Game theorists, because they talk about when they're excited about something in the future, and all these people give honest opinions on what they're doing. So YouTube is pretty much taking over the gaming news industry. Mostly, or the news gaming news? Gaming news. But basically, YouTube is just going to roll over the GameSpot and all the gaming news sites because they're just not relevant anymore. I mean, print might be dead. Like actual physical print, people say it's dead. I think it's not. Depends on who's picking it up. Previous generation still loves picking up a newspaper. But for your entire medium of news to pretty much be dying out and failing within the first, or since like what, 2003, 2000, however old GameSpot is, it hasn't even been 2 decades. Why are they already dying? It's ridiculous. This is what happens. The steps that they're doing are pretty much what happens when they start dying out and becoming not relevant anymore. They're advertising it and shoving it in your face. What they should be doing is trying to get crowdfunding, things like that, ask for donations if people want to support them. They shouldn't just shove advertisements in your face. That's just greedy. And it takes up the space that could have been good. Some people, and all the articles, this is more important. All the articles are the same. It's the same news feed and same articles that you'll find on 4 other sites like this. I mean, all of these. And you read the articles, 80% of them is just filler. It doesn't actually talk about the actual issue. You can glance over the entire page, just look at their highlighted words, or just scroll 3/4 down the page and then you can read the actual review. You don't actually learn anything until you get to the conclusion. And even that, you have to kind of search for it. It's just they litter it with ads and then random video clips. It's just ridiculous. All of it's literally just filler. If you sit and read the whole article, sure, they're getting you to read it, and good for you if you're reading it, but it's not well thought out. All the articles are just cookie cutter. I mean, that's what a lot of them feel like nowadays. And that just kind of bugs me. I mean, it used to be original, it used to be interesting content. And a lot of it feels like cookie cutter. And that's just the corporate taking over. That's what it feels like, and you can read the exact same article on 4 other sites. Yes, I paused in time before I coughed. Okay, guys, but that's just something I really wanted to rant about. It's been bugging me. It's been bugging me for so long. The best news I could find, basically in tech news or keeping up with upcoming games, how things are, that's all coming from YouTube, maybe GameFAQs, forums, talking to real people. But as far as just random news websites to talk about games, no. They used to have good articles, they used to have good content, great news that you didn't hear about everywhere already, but that's gone away a long time ago. And it's really unfortunate because I enjoyed those sites and they were wonderful. I mean, now all of the sites have the exact same things posted. Everything's written the exact same way. And it's just unfortunate. I feel sorry for it. It just sucks. Because the gamers are hurt by that. I mean, sure, we have all these other great sources, but those are sites that we enjoyed going to. I mean, I miss the benchmark part. That's my most missed part. Sure, I can go to Tom's Hardware, but it was fun to read the full breakdown of gamers putting together these gaming rigs that were realistic, and that not just, oh yeah, we have this 16-core processor we're gonna be testing out. Aha, numbers. No, they had relevant hardware that you could actually get. And then they also had the higher tier stuff, but they had a breakdown of 3 levels of hardware: low range, mid range, high end, and it was for every big game coming out. Every single big game they did that on. And they did a lot of work. Now it's all just cookie cutter stuff, so there's nothing that takes the time and effort that goes into doing a benchmark. But that was just something they did because they enjoyed doing it. And it was this full-on benchmarking process they went through. It was just another thing that they did, and I missed it because it showed the care that they had for their subject. I mean, it bugs me. I just want to talk about that with you guys, get it off my chest. Now, this is corporate takeovers or corporations shaping the media. It's something that really bugs me, and I don't like it. And I know that's kind of political, but corporation stuff, it just is unfortunate to me, and I hate it. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through that, good for you. You are awesome, and you have a high tolerance for crap. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you enjoyed that, if you're watching it on YouTube, maybe press the like button if you liked it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, what you want to hear about in the future. If there's anything that you agree with, disagree, talk to me, because I enjoy hearing from you guys. I read all the comments. Don't ask me to subscribe to your channel by posting on my channel. Send me a private message. You don't have to post it on my comment section, because I'm going to delete it or flag it, or it's just going to be sent to spam and no one's ever going to see it again. Yeah, I hate it when people do that. It's just not nice. It's not proper. It's not cool. You don't go posting on other people's channels. everyone that I see that does that has like almost exactly 1,400 followers, and they stagnate. They stalemate at that forever. Because people start realizing, oh, this is what they're doing. And they've already gotten everyone that does that actually subscribes to them to subscribe. Then they never grow. Because they're just being cheap. So don't do that. It's not cool. Don't ask other people to subscribe on their comment section. It's common sense. It's not nice. Okay, guys. And I will basically just get rid of it. I shut that down. Okay, so, but yeah, if you're watching it, if you're listening in to the audio portion of this on a podcatcher of some sort, like iTunes or anything else like that, then what's it? It's not a like system; it's a rating. Give me a rating according to what you think I deserve. I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, always give me a 5-star rating. Yeah, give me what you think I deserve. That way I can get some honest feedback. I can look at it and be like, okay, maybe I should change this a little bit. This. Tell me in the comments what you liked, what you did not like. I enjoy hearing feedback, and I take it all as constructive criticism, and I'm trying to find something to improve every time. So I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one, and just keep being awesome. Links are in the description below. Bye.